And we see Phoenix grabbing, most likely, this Vladimir. A little surprised to see it go through with no attention given to it. It's one of the strongest champions on the current patch. We talk about Lyra being the first Blood King. He can still get it.
He can still do it. He can still hold on to his title, but we'll have to see. He is making his way towards his top side of the map where there is a decent amount of kill potential with the Camille. The Hextech Ultimatum gets dropped down onto Solo, and he's already chunked below half HP before Lyra even comes into this one. Tries to taunt out to safety, has to try to flash away, but Sarah's going to flash after, and Mark, you predicted it. First blood to the first blood
I'm a
king.
genius, Tom. Good gank there by Lyra coming up through the lane. Might be a little hard for Envy to get their Camille involved, whereas the Shenkno is coming down on top.
Both of these teams, the Dragon had been leashed out. However, they're going to wind up turning off. The Ash Arrow lands onto Haku. He's going to get locked up. He's going to get taken down. However, in the backside, though, Solo is also already taken down Apollo. So there's 2 members down from Envy. Good command Shockwave is there from Ninja, but they got to use that one to disengage because their damage is dead.
GCU never did put their bot lane up to that top side to start dealing with the Camille, and as a result, they were able to find that kill. And now Envy is in a position where the gold's mostly stabilized, and they're looking to turn another one.
Gonna hook shot down onto Solo, who's put up the taunt bill underneath the tower. The Hextech Ultimatum goes down as well, and it switches the tower angle. Actually over to Lyra. He's got to hop away from that one. He's gonna wind up coming back into the fray. Solo's taking up a lot of damage. The taunt goes down onto Seraph. They're still juggling this tower aggro. The hook shot to follow, but Solo stays alive. A 1v3 under tower, and Shen survives.
Solo is able to live through so much damage there. The all-physical damage coming in between Seraph and Lyra allows him, with those early Ninja Tabbies and Sunfire Cave, to tank so much damage.
They were splitting 1-1 a lot in the Challenger Series. Then we see Ninja having to flash away there. The Ignite not going to finish him off. Phoenix, well, doing the best thing that he does is continuously chunking out members of the opposing team and gaining advantages.
We're extremely slow. They didn't look great in their first games. Like, is this really a top team as we see them moving up onto Apollo here?
Yeah, just a quick little arrow there as Mash flashes after him as well, but Apollo going to get dove under the tower. Santorin picks up that kill. He's getting locked up by the command Shockwave, though, so he will trade his life for that. But as the season shaped up, those game 1s in Best of X series wound up becoming games that they were must win. And we'll have to see if they can do the same thing here against Envy in this Best of 5 as they started up a fight on the bottom side. Solo and Phoenix already used that combination. They caught out Hako. He flashes and jumps away. Braum's going to be a little bit difficult to take down at this point in the time. However, they have chunked him out. That's basically the only front line from the side of Team Envy. However, they are going to be starting up on this mountain break with Phoenix still school pushing by himself. The Shen in the bottom lane is going to stand united in over here as Phoenix has started up a fight here between him and Solo, though they're chunking down Apollo, who has to flash over the wall. Zanya's Hourglass makes Phoenix go golden as they try to focus down on the Solo, but the Hextech Ultimatum is there and Seraph shuts down Vladimir. The rest of GCU have collapsed from the bottom side of the map, though, as Seraph has to flash away. It's been a 1-for-1 trade, but it's support for Vladimir.
You gotta think, what was Phoenix doing? He tried to force a 2v4, pulled his own team off of Free Dragon. It was maybe a good idea because if his team was closer, they can instantly turn and win this fight, but they were so far away.
Solo, though, will not have his stand united up for a little bit of time, still has his teleport, whereas very importantly, Seraph does not, so they go for a repeat here with the Mash Arrow. They could wind up working out for them as Lyra is going to wind up going down to Mash to begin with. Command Shockwave gets flashed away by the Ashe, and Ninja's not going to have that one for now when they collapse onto the Baron.
Right, they're going to start this Baron off now that the enemy jungler is dead. There's no smite to contest. We see Solo TPing in. Seraph can't get engaged. He has to run over. Coming in now, and Phoenix going for zoning once again.
Yeah, Phoenix zoning him out the Sanguine Pool form is going to wind up going Zanya's Hourglass Golden. Meanwhile, Madlife got chunked out, but the Baron is secured there by Santorin. Phoenix extremely low, but all they have to do is disengage with a flash forward from Ninja will secure a kill here. Gold Queen United, they've lost one, but they got in the Baron, but what else are they going to lose? Seraph tries a hook shot forward. Gold Queen United will back out, but Seraph himself has been quietly farming up almost 10 CS per minute this entire game. Moving up from the bottom side of the map, you mentioned Envy has some decent vision control around this area. They've whiffed the Mash Arrow. Goku and United knows they have to back away, though. Envy could collapse with that down, but Phoenix, getting chunked low, does decide to flash back into this when the Hemoplague is down. Ninja's actually got it. Pop! It was like half of his HP bar.
Yeah, I thought for sure Phoenix had made a mistake there, but Phoenix showing why he's the star carry. Now Seraph wants to punish them back somehow.
Yeah, but meanwhile, Solo's used the stand yard to go in. Seraph, he has the Guardian Angel, but he will go down. Redemption's already been used, and Hakuo is the target. Seraph's going to revive, has to flash away. Lyra going to be jumping out of this fight as well, but a flash taunt forward from Solo going to try to lock up the back line here. Seraph, though, continues to stay alive. At the same time, though, GCU will just collapse on them. 3 kills. Phoenix is split pushing the tower. Everything's coming up GCU.
Very close for Envy to try and turn that one back around. Santorin was trying to get onto Apollo, who made the decision to actually flash aggressively back in there to trade some damage onto the back line of Gold Coin United. Not actually able to finish anyone off. and Goldco United win that team fight, break down the first inhibitor turret. They're going to grab this inhibitor as well. 10 seconds before Ninja's up. How far are they going to try and push this?
Yeah, but meanwhile, managed to chase down that last kill. They've gotten themselves the ace. They might just be looking to go for the end right now. 5 members strong. The Baron buff's fallen off, but they got a wave of minions. One of those Nexus towers is dead already, and they have ultimates back available. Ninja's the only one up for about 10 more seconds, Mark. Goldcoin United, this is not game 1 Goldcoin United. This is new Goldcoin United game 1. They may eat that shockwave, take a lot of damage.
Not be done yet.
Yeah, the respawn timers are coming in, but that Nexus is way too low. Goldcoin United, they take game 1.
If you're Team Envy and you rely on Lyra to carry your early game, Grenades is not the best champion to do it, though. And the nice thing, too, is it also adds a lot of pressure to the bot lane as well. You want your Karma and Ashlane to shove in aggressively nonstop. They have a hard time doing that when they constantly need to worry about getting collapsed on here. Santorin going to get caught out by Lyra.
Oh, the end of the line against the wall gets a lot of damage. The flash away from Santorin, but a flash to follow. First blood to Lyra.
Oh, and we see Goldco United not wanting to let this one go away. Unpunished, they collapse and pick up a kill, but the red buff had expired. That's something that Envy's bot lane is going to be very happy about, but most importantly, the first blood going over to Lyra.
Now, more lane advantages here on the bottom side for Team Envy is actually they're going to get jumped on here. The flash away from Apollo's, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow does land. GCU, they get a summoner spell for an ult.
At the same time, Mash not going for that at all, but now you see might get punished for being a little slower.
Santorin finds a hole in the vision and delivers a Shen down into the bottom side here. Apollo's got nowhere to go. Mash picks up a kill.
The extra kind of dueling power early on with the Blade of the Ruin King as we see Phoenix getting jumped on.
Phoenix gonna use the cleanse almost immediately here. Command Shockwave's gonna lock both of them up. Phoenix flash away, Dixon dodges away. Phoenix survives the 1v2.
That was so well played by Phoenix, being able to dodge out on both the end of the line and collateral damage. Very scary there, but some good footwork out of Phoenix, and he gets out alive.
We continue to push and pull teams around. Keeping yourself extremely healthy will be crucial as you get into the late game. Without Ninja taking a lot of damage, that clockwork windup is stacked up, and Phoenix says, I don't even need a jungler to take you down. Moves around very effectively with Santorin, and Santorin, who didn't have the best early game, might need that help as Mash here is going to want to need to stand united. Flashes away from the piercing arrow, though, so he will stay alive, but in comes Ninja. He spear rushes forward and picks up a kill for himself, gets the wild growth and the heal out from his bottom lane, so he will survive.
Seraph's teleporting in, though. Let's see if he finishes this one off. Wants to cut off the escape of Goldcoin United. Might be able to get around him here.
Goldcoin United's kind of baiting this one out. Envy's still a little bit far away. Saris used that teleport, but it doesn't look like he's going to get much for that one, so Solo hangs on to his. They have a solid 2k gold advantage over Goldcoin United right now, but are they going to be able to be proactive with that and go for a fight? But there's an Enchanted Crystal Arrow on the Ninja already, and the fight's been taken to Envy. They will trade 1 for 1, though. Jungler for mid laner trade here as Santorin winds up going down, and GCU, I don't think they can take that Drake anymore.
While GCU had the better bot lane, that's exactly what I'm talking about, where they don't have spaces. Phoenix going for another solo kill.
Command Shockwave used there, but Ninja's going to get the help pick shield there from Hakuo, so he will not go down through that first combo. Both teams have this Lucian Drake to help heal themselves up. Lyra, though, is going to wind up walking into all sorts of ultimates here. Command Shockwave goes down. Lyra has to burn the flash. Wild Growth barely keeps him alive through that.
Benefit for Envy because they can make plays. Here, Ninja caught out a little bit, though, by Mad Light.
Yep, it's going to wind up using the Spirit Rush right away. Gets exhausted out. Ninja going to wind up Spirit Rushing away. Mad Life has to get the Stand United channel just to stay alive. Mash between him and Santorin going to pick up that kill. They used a lot, actually, to shut down Ninja's Ari there.
Envy's not going to let this go unpunished. They group up around the mid lane turret, going to try and grab their third outer turret of the game here.
Yep, the third outer tower will actually
alive.
go down. Command Shockwave gets used in his own way. Hakuo wants a piece of that tower. He's had the Wild Growth himself. The rest of GCU is kind of coming around from the top side of the map, but they are ultimate-less all across the board.
They're fighting for priority in the mid lane. They have an inside track on this dragon because of that.
Yep, Envy's already started this one off. They're going to try to force the teleport out of Shen, who goes immediately into the pit. Seraph with a Guardian Angel picked up will be the target. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow lands on Solo, though, in the pit. Kind of stuck between a dragon and the enemy team here. Is just going to wind up walking himself out of that. Envy started up the dragon, have yet to secure. Goldcoin United don't want this one going over for free. It's still leashed out. Dragon's below 2k HP, and the smite will go to Santorin, but the fight's broken out already. Envy dashing and flashing in, and Goldcoin United have to go into full retreat mode. Envy have not yet picked up a kill. They've lost the dragon, but are Goldcoin United going to be able to get out unscathed? Looks like yes. They're going to have to respond with one of those global pressures from their side from Solo. Top lane, though, Phoenix is going to eventually push down this tower. Also chunks Ninja down with that Command Shockwave and the Command Attack, just combination. The rest of Envy, though, trying to chase after him, but Phoenix is going to walk away.
They are pressuring around this mid turret.
Yeah, very surprisingly, Goldcoin United, those ultimates unavailable to them, are just going to wind up taking the tower relatively uncontested. Now Envy are going to be looking to get that. Sarah teleports in, tries to get the stun down. The Flash or Neck didn't engage, the deadliest of engages. Although Mad Life going to use Redemption, is living for a very long time. time against Ninja. Mad Life will eventually go down, but it's just a 1 for none. So now Gold Coin United, gotta be careful. They had vision control of this area, but it got cleared out. Mash caught on the opposite side of his team. Wanted going down. Solo channels that teleport, winds up completing it as well and just dashes over the wall.
So they've been in this situation a couple times. Now getting collapsed on by the teleporting Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah teleporting way in the back. Ninja's gonna have to go super far forward for this one. The standing United from Shin isn't wanting going down in the Mash. Leo already getting chunked out here by Santorin as he collapses onto him, but they immediately peel off and protect their carry jungler. It's gonna be a kill for Leo on Santorin. Yeah, interestingly enough, Envy forced GCU up the top side. Apollo looked like he wanted to push the mid lane, but the rest of the team decided to go for the Baron. So now they are in the pit. The Baron's still relatively healthy and solo leading the charge. It's a very tanky Shen, not taking a lot of damage. Seraph actually staying on this Baron. Lyra rejoins him in the pit. Like you said, this could be dangerous. Command Shockwave is still available. If Envy don't recognize that, this could be disastrous. Solo goes in. He's locked up on the Seraph, but Solo's taking a lot of damage now because he's taking the Baron. Has to dash and flash away. Now Mad Life's going to be the target. He will not go down as Ninja does not lend the back into the Orb of Deception. Less than 2,000 HP, and meanwhile, Ninja's been able to take down Phoenix. No Shockwave to be found. Lyra flashes over the wall. That's a kill for him on top of the Baron.
A very risky situation, but well played. Mash gonna get caught out now as well. Tries to turn back on to Ninja, but with the Lulu there once again to keep the Ahri alive, that's a 3-for-0 in favor of Envy.
I mean, we've heard of Juggermaw compositions. We've heard of like the Super Lucian and Protect the 80 carry compositions. I never heard of the Buff the Graves kind of composition. I guess in this case for Envy, other choices are close but no cigar.
That silence is intentional.
I was proud of it. I know Lyra's proud.
It wasn't bad. Yeah, Lyra's very happy with this game. Escorting this wave in, going to try and burn this one down.
Yep, so already going to try to break this mid lane inhibitor tower, and that was the question we posed. With this Baron buff, can they crack the base? The answer to that is yes. Envy take down the mid lane inhibitor tower. Might not be able to collapse down specifically onto the inhibitor, but they've gotten at least 2 towers off the back of this Baron. Lyra's going to be content to kind of tank this one up as long as he got the Lulu from Hakuo on his backside helping him. Down below 5,000 HP. This is going down pretty quick. The Mountain Dragon's helping with that one. Gold Coin United, they're going to jump in here. The Dragon gets reset. Gold Coin are split, though. Solo's taking all the damage, and they're going for the Dragon. Santorin wants to try to finish this one off, and it looks like it will go over to Gold Coin United. They have yet to lose a member as Solo barely survives, but Ninja flashing and dashing forward. The Guardian Angel's going to get popped. Santorin runs back into the Redemption to heal up, but Mad Life winds up falling. Phoenix is able to turn this around, though. They picked up some extra kills. Mash picks up a kill for himself as well, and what looked like to be bad for Gold Coin United turns out into a 2-for-1.
Yeah, Gold Coin United able to not only secure the Elder Dragon, which it looked like they were giving up kills in order to secure.
Uh-oh.
Phoenix getting very low, might go down here.
Ooh, dodge down the piercing arrow, but a flash forward from Hakuo says, I'll pick up that kill.
Ends up being a 2-for-2 right now. They're still on the chase, and Gold Coin United running to the wrong side of the map here.
Yeah, this does not bode well for GCU. That was a very big Baron power play, but a flash taunt from Solo winds up missing here. Apollo gonna get locked up on, but Solo taking a ton of damage here. Mash will eventually pick up a kill, but over the wall comes Seraph. They're gonna lock down onto Mash. That's another kill picked up there for Envy, and only one aspect remains on Santorin. Envy, though, are gonna immediately start on this Baron buff here, chunking it down well below half HP. This thing's going down pretty quick, and Gold Coin United have to respond. Both of those key teamfight ultimates are available as Solo in the front line gets locked up, but Seraph is not as tanky as he used to be. Takes a lot of damage, well below half HP.
Gold Coin United able to chunk out the frontliner of Seraph there, forcing them away from the Baron, which regens back up. Gold Coin United have a little bit of pressure here and actually have vision control as well, so there's a chance that they could start this off. You see them going for it now. It looks like they're kind of committed to it.
They're chunking it down, not nearly as quick as Envy was with that extra Mountain Drake on their side. The teleport comes in from Seraph. The Dominus has them pop. They immediately turn down onto the Renekton. Solo trying to zone out the rest of the team. Seraph goes in to try to help him out, but now it's going to be Ninja using the flash and the dash on the opposite side. There's a tanky Seraph in the front line that will get the first kill onto Phoenix, and he was not able to use the command Shockwave. That means Lyra's going to charge forward. Will actually go down, though, after trading a kill for his life, but that means Apollo is fully stacked with his Rage Blade strong. Gold Coin United have to turn tail and run. A flash charm for Ninja won't land, but it forces Mash into the rest of the team. A 4-for-1.
And off the back of that fight, we see them going, trying to get some more of these map objectives down. They grab the mid inhibitor, They grab the bot inhibitor turn. They're looking for the bot inhibitor as well.
Yeah, with Santorin the only one alive for the side of GCU, that means Envy just pretty much have a heyday with breaking the base. The Baron is still up on the map. That's going to be even easier to take now that you have super minions pushing on the bot and the mid side from GCU. Well, Goldcoin United are looking for a game-changing Baron here. This may be a little bit desperate here. They've chunked out Seraph. He has no Guardian Angel. The taunt is going to land. Wildcard gets used on the tank. The redemptions are out. They can't quite burn down Seraph, but he will wind up falling, but not before they trade Mad Life's life for it. Ninja on the backside was able to get that one. He already used the Spirit Dash going forward. He only blocks down to Solo, and that's a lot of damage coming out from Phoenix's Orianna. Envy, they have to turn tail and run from this one, but they do stop the Baron. Phoenix still has the Command Shockwave available, and Mash's Enchanted Crystal Arrow will be up in just a couple of seconds, but immediately Envy turned back onto this Baron. Less than half HP. There's no one else around from GCU to try to steal this one away. Envy, second Baron of the game.
I think that might have been the biggest adaptation between Game 1 and Game 2 was securing a stronger bot lane for the team so that they had pressure to follow up on whatever Lyra wanted to do, as well as the fact that he's been playing the pick well in these kind of team situations.
Well, the Super Minions have hit the Nexus Towers, which is the go signal for Envy to push down and take their third and final top lane inhibitor. Envy now are going to have every single lane of Super Minions pushing in GCU. I can't see them pulling out for much longer here, Mark. They're barely holding on against two waves of Super Minions, let alone now that the Baron buff is grouped up.
No Ash Arrow either.
Nexus Tower goes down. Solo's going to wind up going, and this looks like the last potential fight for Goldcoin United. Santorin is all by himself, and he's going to get his Guardian Angel pop. Ninja in the backline, though, is going to get locked up by a taunt, but they are able to pick up Phoenix. Santorin falls after the revive. Shockwave is not used again. Mash will trade back a kill, but they're just focusing on the towers here for the side of Envy. The Nexus is exposed, and Seraph, Apollo, and Hakuo look to be trying to end the game. They're going to even it up at 1-1.
A good bounce back game there by Team Envy. Team Envy going with the Maokai pick, matching up with just some standard tanks in the top lane, and there's that Nami pick coming in for a GC.
But
there's that hawk shot.
We'll see if Lyra is going to be as afraid as Santorin was about this blue buff debacle. Multiple members of GCU are collapsing, though. Ninja's going to be coming up from there as well, with Solo already moved down here. Santorin dashing into Lyra here. The flash forward from Solo will burn the flash out from Lyra, but Ninja throws out the Orb of Deception. Now Seraph has joined the fray. The smite away from Santorin secures the blue buff, but now they've turned down onto Solo. This is a very low-level fight, so not a lot of abilities off cooldown here. It's getting chaotic on the front and the backside. It looks like it's going in favor of GCU as Solo picks up first blood off that Undertow. A double kill picked up for the Nautilus as he just ticks away on the Maokai, and now Ninja has to turn all nine tails and run.
We talked about how good their synergy was in the previous game. Here, Mad Life could be in a little bit of trouble.
Yep, actually walks for that brush, wants to put a ward down, but finds Lyra instead. Has to exhaust on him. The bubble is not going to wind up landing, and that's going to be a kill picked up for Envy.
Nice jungle mid synergy, or jungle support synergy, excuse me, in there. Oh, I talked about how brutal this might be at level 6. And there you see it, both Solo and Santorin being level 6. Santorin not even needing to use the Graves ultimate.
No, I don't even know if Santorin needed to go damage there, but now getting aggressive is Ninja onto Phoenix here. Immediately uses the cleanse. Command Shockwave lands on the Lyra, forces the flash out of him as Lyra goes back in, though. Phoenix steps forward, gets way too aggressive, and pays for it with his life.
This is one of the big problems with Phoenix's mentality that we talk about, is that he's willing to go try and turn these 1v2s after he's already out. Now Mash could be in trouble as well.
No, Goldcoin United, they started off so good, but things are turning bad for them now. Mash in a 1v2 situation barely gets out there. They wind up going through at the dive. It's the same sort of mentality that you might run into in solo queue, where you wind up getting kills across the map, and then somebody else on your team is like, well, I'm just not going to get carried by you. I'm going to try to do it myself. Bottom side of the map, the Goldcoin United walk into a very patiently laid trap by Envy as Lyra helps pick up a kill. Going to Hakuo. You mentioned hopping over the wall. There is a ward over there, but I don't know if Goldcoin United specifically saw Lyra jump over. It looks like they may have, because they themselves are inching around the corner here, but Mad Life was standing on a ward. At the same time, Mash utilizing the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. The tidal wave lands, followed up by a bubble. The CC chain is huge, but so is Apollo as he gets the wild growth out from Hakuo. Seraph and Solo teleported down into this fight. Nobody's gone down yet. It looks like the Dragon may be contested here for Goldcoin United. Santorin got chunked down kind of low, though, so they gotta be careful, and thus has started the Dragon Dance.
The Dragon Dance has begun. Now it is Envy's turn to grab the Dragon's attention. The mating dance continues.
It looks like the Dragon has lost interest in both of these potential partners and instead has decided to fall back asleep in his Dragon Pit.
Looks like the partners might have lost interest as well. Seraph gonna recall out here. It's a little too risky for both these teams to force around this objective.
At this point in time, in game number 2, Envy had accrued a massive advantage. In game number 1, it was relatively close at this point. Gokun United wound up taking that game number 1, but things are definitely looking like their tempo's going in Envy's favor. They get a flash kick down onto Mash over here. The tidal wave, though, is going to disrupt that a bit. Envy has a little bit of a split focus this one. Lyra and Seraph are on the top side of the fight. Paco and Apollo are on the bottom side of the fight. Now the mid laners are collapsing from the top side as well, but Lyra caught between a rock and a hard place. Bubbled up, stunned up, knocked up, goes down.
Seraph and him split up during the retreat. Seraph walking up the river. Lyra trying to break into his own jungle. That opens him up to get jumped on by GCU.
Phoenix, extremely strong player, extremely big name. Madlife himself. Looks like now the Gokun United is going to get locked up. Mash is already down. Madlife is already down. Santorin falls as well. Envy just take a fight from seemingly nowhere.
Yeah, Envy had such great vision control around that bot side of the map. It was extremely risky for GCU to actually try and path down there from the mid lane. They thought that they would roam down there as a group and try and secure some vision of their own, but Ninja was already there. Now Ninja gets jumped on a little by Solo. They're trying to stop them from going from the Baron. It's pretty early into the game. They don't have a ton of damage. This might be really hard for Envy to grab, but they turn on the Phoenix.
Yeah, they wind up flashing forward to get the twisted advance, but the cleanse is going to come out, but they just immediately lock down on him and pick up a kill. Now Solo, kind of the only one in this area. They don't have a lot of damage on this, and Baron does hurt quite a bit at this point in time. Solo's pretty tanky, though. It does have to flash away, and Envy might not get that Baron, but they do pick up another kill. Instead, Envy's kind of on stalling duty, but they're utilizing a combination of ultimates here from Gokun United to start off a fight. They've locked out on the Seraph, but that's still a tanky tree. He's not going to get cut down that easy. They burn a lot, including the wild growth to keep Seraph alive, but Envy back away. With
the RA pick, you're always able to reposition in the team fight, basically. And he does find good angles on enemy carries, so I do like the RA pick a lot, but you gotta find a way to deal with this push.
Yeah, his team's gonna need the RE pick. We split push in the top lane, so GCU decides to go forward towards the mid lane. Chunking down on that inhibitor tower as Lyra is the one that's gonna be trying to wrap around and meet up with Ninja over there. Gokun United, though, going to rinse and repeat, just run away.
Yep, GCU doing a little bit of push and pull. Almost land the arrow onto Lyra. Good flash there.
Teleport is not quite available for Seraph. Just a couple seconds left on that one. The Baron, though, is going to get peeled off on here. Solo trying to go on to Ninja, but you mentioned that slippery Ahri pickup. Not going to be easy to lock up. Uses the Spirit Rush, gets herself out of there. Gokun United peel off a Baron. Gokun United, though, does not have a lot of their damage here as Mash is starting to just chunk away that mid lane. The teleport's being channeled in, though, from Seraph. He's going to want to go in the middle of the team. Ninja gets blocked up by the command shockwave. Phoenix uses that on just one. The tidal wave comes out as Madlife drops down kind of low. Rips across Envy. The enchanted crystal arrow locks down on the Seraph. The wild growth has already been spent, and Mash picks up a kill onto Maokai. Envy wind up trading one.
Envy pick up the first kill of the fight, but they're not done yet. They need to get more off this. They're forcing around the Baron again. Lyra still alive with his smite. A lot of members are pretty low, but most cooldowns are down, but Ninja's ult is back available. He might be able to find an opening here.
A little risky. Going forward is Ninja. Forces the flash trade out from Phoenix there. Baron about 3,000 HP with a flash re-engage from Solo. They've locked down onto Hakuo. Lyra kicks him back, and they've actually procced the shield coming out from Santorin on that Hex Drinker. Sorry, the Maw of the Malmortius. So Gokun United have to back away.
GCU has a much better late game team fighting comp, and they're using it to keep baiting around this Baron.
They got the teleport out of Ahri, the enchanted crystal out. They lock on the Seraph again. It's a tanky member. Looks like the dredge line did not connect, and the
tidal wave went the wrong way.
Yeah, Chain of Corruption was used, and it wound up locking down to Santorin and only spread to Solo. But without that Nami tidal wave, without the Ash enchanted crystal arrow, Envy could just force GCU back away from this Baron yet again.
Great job of contesting vision in this situation or all early game. Once again, Seraph gets hooked out, though.
GCU sniffed something out there, and with Lyra away on the top side of the map, they collapse. Seraph has to get the wild growth out from Hakuo's Lulu, so while Envy were trying to spring a trap here, Gokun United, now they have the inside track to mid lane inhibitor tower.
Right, they can potentially just escort this minion wave down. You don't have to be too worried about Envy going for Baron buff. They're extremely low. Just leave one or two members to make sure they don't do that. And now you see them, they're going to grab this inhibitor turret. They can probably grab the inhibitor as well, as Envy is actually trying to recall from the jungle.
Yeah, it looks like Envy here.
Backing off. And without the enchanted crystal arrow down, looks like they want to go on anybody. They're going to open up on Solo.
Yeah, the tank in the front line is going to get locked up by the twisted advance, but he's got some shields and heals of his own between this Nami and Orianna combo. Lyra's going to wind up going in and popping back out. So Envy and Gokun United dividing the map in a different kind of way here as GCU are retreating through their own red buff area.
Seraph just trying to stop the tanky front line of GCU to get around to this turret. It's going to buy enough time for Envy to grab their fourth turret of the game.
Ooh, but the fight has been engaged onto Lyra. The tidal wave goes across, only winds up picking up onto Seraph. Redemption winds up getting used as well, but now Lyra walking forward, gets command shockwave, dropping down extremely low. Mash does not have the arrow to use, but Lyra on the backside is trying to slow down Mad Light, but they caught Ninja, and Phoenix gets that kill. Mad Light gets kicked over the wall, but Lyra delivers himself into Phoenix. A double kill picked up for Oriana, and now Seraph, he's dropped extremely low. Guardian Angel is still available, but I don't know if Hakuo is going to be able to keep him alive through this one. They have Solo coming around the backside to cut him off. Hook lands, he winds up blocking him up. Seraph gets the sap magic to heal himself up. Twisted advances forward. That's going to be a Guardian Angel popped. Gold Coin United, as soon as this tree comes up, it goes back down. Eventually, and it's 3 kills in favor of GC.
And the Baron buff will be available as well.
Elder Dragon seems to be the focus for Gold Coin United, so while they have the Baron buff, they're not using it to escort minion waves, instead using it to buy some time against this Dragon. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow winds up going a little bit wide, as you do wind up dodging out from the Dredge line follow-up here. Solo's in the front line, does not look like he's taken any damage whatsoever, as this Elder Dragon's still wailing away. Lyra winds up coming in for the steal, but it's going to be Santorin whose smite is superior. The Dredge line winds up landing onto Apollo. The Wild Growth is out, but he's going to wind up getting taken down in that fight. But they are able to wind up killing it onto Mash. Ninja's in the back line, though. The Redemption has gone out, but that's going to wind up picking up another kill for Santorin, a double kill for the jungler. He wins the smite, he wins the fight.
I guess I was a little surprised that they were forcing around that Elder Dragon. They were only about 2,000 gold ahead. Baron does not really give you any advantage in that situation. I would have thought they would have used it for more pushing, but hey, they got it. They got the inhibitor, and now they're forcing down around the bot lane.
Yep, the aspect of the Dragon buff has fallen off, though, so this is just straight up Gold Coin versus Envy. We're going to see Ninja getting locked up, and he tries to dash into the back line. All of the CC gets used, and Ninja and Lyra both wind up going down. Redemption's going to keep Gold Coin United healthy as Solo's Guardian Angel was popped, and Santorin replaces him on the front line. The inhibitor tower goes down, and so will the inhibitor.
Solo's going to recall. He has his teleport available. He's going to come back in on one of these super creeps, and GCU look like they might be able to end the game here. Apollo very low, hard to deal with Phoenix and actually walk up and wave clear here.
Yeah, so Apollo, Hakuo, and Seraph trying to hold on for their team's lives here in game number 3. Ventral Maelstrom has been popped. Solo taking a lot of damage, but both Nexus towers wind up going down. The Nexus is exposed, and as much as Envy try to fight this one, I don't know if they're going to be able to stop the onslaught. Apollo goes down, and that's going to seal the victory here for GCU. They're going to take the lead in this best of 5, 2-1, as soon as they kill this Nexus. 2 games to 1. Well, this is the promotion tournament, not quite ultimate bravery, but we'll have to see if that's going to be an effective choice. And it does look at with the last picks for both of these teams being the junglers.
And there we see the hawk shot, scouting out Santorin, letting Lyra know he can go aggressive, misses the Q. That's not what you expect to see out of Lyra. He had the right idea there, scouted out by Apollo. Good teamwork overall, but Lyra missing the Q.
And most importantly, too, is a 10 HP blue buff that Santorin actually is able to get in addition to that. So he gets out with his life, gets out with the blue buff. Lyra's going to steal a Gromp for his troubles, but not as effective as he wants to. Is Ninja going to flash forward, lands the Ignite, takes a tower shot, the Transfuse will heal him up through that one. Phoenix has to burn his own flash.
And then you also, as we see a dive coming in the top here, actually.
Yeah.
Solo, not 6 yet, no mana.
Dominus being popped extremely early. Solo looks like he is not long for this world. Tries to flash away towards Santorin, but will wind up going down for first blood. Sarah picks that one up with the help from Lyra, but Santorin not quite done. Winds up picking up a kill on the Lyra, gets the heal and the level up there. Immediately hits level 6, utilizes the Throw of the Hunt to get out.
Well played by Santorin there. I was a little scared seeing him go 1v2 there against Renekton Lee Sin, one of the most dangerous combos in the game.
So a trade kill back, although it is still first blood over to Seraph in this top lane matchup, and it looks like that this might not be the first kill to go into the top lane. Solo's going to get rooted up, kicked back, stunned up there, and even though he can try to dredge line himself out of this one, Seraph gets a second kill.
Getting off the ground well again here. Now Santorin looking around mid, gonna be a counter gank.
Yep, Phoenix goes in, gets the chains down. Santorin, though, coming in as well to throw the hunt, forces the flash at Lyra, and Vladimir just goes down.
Ninja did not seem like he was ready for Santorin to pop out of stealth like that. Blows him right up. Seraph moving down, hoping to get involved in this, but there's a pink ward that spots him out. He might be able to stop any kind of aggression. Arrow goes wide.
Apollo's, what could be his first hour of the game, winds up going a little bit wide. The Chain of Corruption lands, as does the Strangleroot, though. They wind up locking up onto Lyra. It's not quite Phoenix in the bottom lane, it's just a mimic copy to LeBlanc, but Envy going to back away after using basically a ton for nothing. We have Mad Life and Santorin waiting in this mid lane here. Lyra.
Well, both teams are aware of their other positioning, I'm pretty sure.
Looks like this might wind up being a bigger brawl than we thought. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes out, does not land, and the collapse onto Lyra. Patience pays off, and Santorin's on the killing spree.
All right, well, I guess he did not know that they were in there. The way he was playing it made me think he might have had knowledge of them. Not the case there. Face checks into the Zyra and Rengar and gets popped for it.
Yeah, so Goldcorn United being the ones to spring the trap on the mid lane, even though Envy was being the ones to try to get around that area. Now Santorin, not quite done. Looping around back on the Ninja. Ninja still has his flash available. Just lands the double bola, and Phoenix, though, content to farm out these minions instead.
Ninja aware that they probably weren't going to go too hard on him. Gets caught out here now, though.
The chain's gonna want to pop, and you can't pull through that one. Ninja goes down again.
Content pushing down this bot lane that they have total vision control of.
Yeah, they got a teleport coming in, though, from Seraph behind them. They have to be a little bit careful from the Renekton collapse. Mad Light's going to lead the charge, and Mash gets caught up with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Seraph's going to slice and dice over the wall on the Mad Light, and this fight is in two different parts. But Santorin joins the fray and just destroys poor Apollo.
And Mad Light flashed out. He's alive.
Yeah, and Seraph, though, the dominance has him pop, but Solo's teleported in from the opposite side of this fight. Santorin's going to wind up leaping back into this one. Hakuo drops about half HP. And GCU turn around that gank. They want to start pressuring down both of the remaining outer towers at the same time as Phoenix gets the double distortion. Lots of damage back on the Ninja. Proximal Namacon, so that transfusion will not be able to heal him up a lot. He decides to go back in here. Double chains lands. Ninja pops again. He's still got both summoners.
Phoenix with another solo kill blows up Ninja. The scary thing is the fact that they're also not even the better late game team necessarily. I think you see with the Nautilus now opening up onto Hakuho.
Oh, he's got a Rengar behind him too, so Hakuo goes down.
Another pickoff for GCU. Hakuho trying to get the warding done on his own as opposed to being grouped up with Lyra, which we usually see. Now Lyra caught under the turret mid.
Chains of Corruption goes down. LeBlanc gonna try to flash after, and just one sigil goes there, and a killing spree for Phoenix.
It's getting crazy. Now Ninja wants a piece of them. He gets rooted up.
He flashes in. The Hemoplague goes down, but Mash will stay alive. Phoenix going forward again. He wants to get the pop down on the Seraph. It won't kill him. He has to distort back. Now Santorin stuck underneath the tower. And after a bit of chaos, things settle down, and Envy gets a reply kill.
They haven't been great at it over the course of this series. For the most part, Envy's actually had better vision control, but when you're this far behind, it gets a lot harder.
Yeah, when you're this far ahead, you get chunked out for damage like that. Ninja actually not going in. Uses the Crimson Rush to heal himself back up. That Morello Namacon proc reduces that healing by a large margin. Here, Santorin going to jump forward. Does get hit up by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Ninja going into the backlines. Hemoplague down on Mash. He has to flash away. Don't know if he's going to wind up going down. He does not. Mash stays alive, and it's Ninja that falls. Solo winds up teleporting into the front lines. He's taking up a lot of damage here. Waiting for the cooldowns of Phoenix. Misses the chains down onto Hakuo. The Throw of the Hunt is popped by Santorin. They've jumped down onto Lyra. The Strangled Thorns knocks him up in the middle of the safeguard, but he's gotten the distance just long enough to survive.
Overall, not the worst fight, though, for Envy. They're not done yet. They're trying to go for Santorin, but Seraph gets disengaged.
A dash, a flash, and another dash, but Seraph's gonna get locked down as Dominus fades and Envy back away.
And even though there's no vision in the pit, that ward will see Mash auto-attacking this. Envy's gonna have to collapse here.
There's a teleport available for Seraph if he feels like he needs it. Already have the redemption going up. This Baron's going down a lot quicker than we thought it would. Although they've stopped focusing down on it. Instead, they're trying to catch Lyra over the side of the wall. Phoenix trying to blow him up, but Lyra is actually going to wind up be the one to blow up Phoenix with some help there from Ninja. GCU has gotten the Baron, but it's going to cost him at least 2 members now. Ninja's picked himself up a double kill, and GCU is in full retreat mode. Solo gets the blast cone over the wall, but gets stunned up by Seraph as he winds up going over. Solo tries to dredge line out, but he's very, very low on mana. Has no flash available. The Nautilus is, well, he's gonna hook himself over while he's in Guardian Angel form. The Guardian Angel gets popped. Solo goes down. It's 3 kills for Envy.
He's back from the dead. He's crawling around in his GA. No, that was a good play by Envy there. Together and try and finish off a inner turret or two. They don't have the whole, everyone on the team 1-3-1 with the buff is Seraph getting caught out here.
That has to pop the Dominus just to keep his Guardian Angel back alive, but Ninja, in the meantime, now going to be the focus here. Santorin and Phoenix are continuing to jump down on him. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow landed on Santorin, but he's able to get that one off of him. Throw the Hunt now has been popped. The teleport comes in from GCU Solo. Say, who needs to split push? We still have 2 Baron buffs. We're going to brute force this one down as 5.
I like the aggression there by GCU, not giving Envy time to breathe. Just because they won a Baron fight does not mean that they're in a position that they can honestly beat you down. So you see Phoenix and Santorin getting really aggressive, and now they're trying to focus down this inhibitor turret.
Yep, Ninja is going to go pool form, goes golden afterwards, so step charge gets canceled. That flashes away as well, but Phoenix flashes after, and the Sigil is going to end his life. They've broken open the base. The inhibitor tower is down. The inhibitor's going down as well. Varus has picked up a kill on the Lee Sin, and Sarah's Guardian Angel is popped. This could wind up being the game mark. Goldcorn United have picked up 2 kills. They picked up 3. They picked up 4. This is going to be Goldcorn United taking down Team Envy. in the first best of 5 of the promotion tournament. They're going to move on to tomorrow's matchup. They're going to try to take down Team Liquid for a spot in the NALCS.
Right after a disastrous Baron attempt, Gold Coin United turns around and kicks in Envy's front door, getting an ace just 34 minutes into the game. I said I didn't think this was going to end in the next 10 minutes, and 4 minutes later.
Yeah, and that, of course, means Envy is going to wind up falling down to that loser's bracket match. They're going to wind up going against E United, who lost on the other stream 3-1 to Team Liquid. That, of course, means that it sets up now Gold Coin United versus Team Liquid. We have Phoenix going up against his former team, Loco Doco going up against his former team.
Too many good storylines.
Mark.
Too many good storylines.
That one will wind up being a match for tomorrow. So to close out our day and hear more about that Gold Coin United victory, let's send it on over to our analysts.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Challenger team is victorious here in our first series of the promotion tournament. So moving on, as was mentioned, to play Liquid tomorrow to qualify for the summer split. But hey, happened in 4 games, 3-1 over Envy. Let's talk about how it fell their way.
Yeah, honestly, fairly close games, I would say. I think GCU just ended up being a more complete team. We were talking kind of off camera that it felt like some of the Envy members didn't deliver. Lyra potentially is like the best jungler in the North American continent right now. It didn't seem to look like it. What's interesting is his stats looked a bit normal to the regular season. Obviously, these guys do lose a lot of games, Envy does, but just by eye test, it didn't seem like we had the same kind of influence out of Lyra. It didn't seem to keep Santorin down when he probably should have.
Right, and although his stats, as you mentioned, his singular stats may have been somewhat reminiscent of his split, the team as a whole wasn't out to as many dominant early leads as we had seen in the split. And that kind of feeds to that eye test that you're talking about. He didn't look like he was having an impact on the game in multitudes of situations.
Yeah, and specifically, I want to point out the fact that Ninja was clearly getting outclassed by Phoenix here. This was, I think, a very stark difference, especially when you saw the LeBlanc game come out and he had like 1 to 2 solo kills in lane. The LeBlanc comes through and just smashes the Vladimir. And it's like, look, Ninja, you don't look good on team fighters anyway. Like, we've seen your Cassiopeia games, you lose almost all of them, your Victor games, etc. Like, just keep trying to find the assassin that you can kind of get out of lane and do something else with, and you just get kind of blasted in the assassin matchup.
Right, so Envy didn't hit the mark we were expecting them to hit. But let's talk about these guys, the winners of the series, because I'm very impressed with their composure to come in and play their game up against a team that they know likes to play fast in the early game and really deliver controlled victories. I love to see that out of a Challengers team.
Yep, honestly, was happy with GCU as a team. Mad Life and MASH do make for a good bot lane. I'm sure most internet's going to say it's all Mad Life, but honestly, MASH looks pretty reasonable as well. He's always been a, top 10-ish caliber bot laner, which is solid for a situation like this, where, he seems to be doing well, and maybe this is his year, right? Maybe with Mad Life helping out and Loco Doco coaching, maybe MASH finally gets his first really good year as a player. That might happen. You don't know. Phoenix still clearly on form. Again, Malle's still very good. And Santorin also looked pretty good. He's been returning to maybe some of that TSM form.
Well, especially in this game, we saw the focus around the mid lane. Santorin really aiding in Phoenix, getting ahead there in the early game. There were quite a few standout performances across all of the teams, though today we had to focus on a single player. So we're going to talk about Phoenix in that mid lane, bringing it home for GCU.
Yeah, Phoenix, great. Here's a shockwave that kind of sets up Lyra. It ends up getting him killed pretty easily when he comes through afterwards. But honestly, belts out plenty of damage. You heard the caster talk about at the end of this game. The game 4, not the one on your screen, but the fact that the LeBlanc game where he, here we go, this is the LeBlanc game. And Ninja just, fails to flash chains. He just, for some reason, thinks Single Pool blocks it. I don't know what that was supposed to be about.
That made me so angry.
Yeah, it's a little silly. But, Phoenix outclassed his opponent. I think he is easily the best mid laner in the promo tournament. I expect him to keep hard carrying games. And if GCU does make LCS, it is, in my opinion, off the back of Phoenix.
That's the thing I was about to say. Remember that when Phoenix was in the LCS,
he was top 3 LCS.
He was argued top. I was going to say top 5, top 3 is absolutely somewhere you could put him. So
Bjergsen, Jensen, and him, and in any order you could have considered it.
Exactly, and so that's the thing. We have to remember how much we talk about the talent on the LCS rosters. We have to remember how much talent is also on these challenger squads that are coming up against them here this weekend. Yeah. And again, those that deliver on the day, they're the ones who are going to come out with the victory. But with one day in the books, it's time now to pull up the bracket. See how the teams stand. The victorious Team Liquid and Gold Coin United are going to face off tomorrow, with the winner locking their place in the 2017 Summer Split. That will be broadcasted on NALCS 1. Meanwhile, over on NALCS 2, Team Envy fight to retain their spot in the North American LCS against E United, with the loser of that match spending the next split in the Challenger Series. So obviously, There's a whole lot riding on that second series because the loser of Team Liquid Gold Coin United will still have one more opportunity to qualify for the NALCS. That's what they earned today with their victories.
Right, they earned some padding here, but right, we're going to see Liquid or GCU qualify into the LCS, which is going to be fun. It's the feel-good match. The other one is the feel-sad match, and then with that like hope for redemption there that maybe you can win your rematch, assumedly, on Sunday.
Well, so Team Liquid looked pretty good today, at least on an
Outside the slow start,
I was going to say, outside of the slow start, and then individually talking about Reignover and Doublet, those guys had pretty large performances. What you just saw out of Gold Coin United, do you think they have what it takes to deal with the bot lane lead that will be built by Team Liquid?
I think it's going to be closer. I have a lot of faith in Mad Life, and Mash, again, has held his own pretty well. He has not had to play against Doublelift in over a year, so maybe it looks a bit different, but I think the bot lane is going to look closer. I think their jungle will do better as well. I trust Santorin more than I trust Gilius to kind of match up here, so I think it's a closer matchup. I would still give the edge to Liquid, but I think this is, we're not going to be those 30-minute win, 30-minute win, 30-minute win.
All right, the final thing, the other series, Envy versus E United. And Envy not hit the mark as we expected to today. Do you think they'll return to form and maybe Lyra will get to, really put on a show for us?
I mean, the funny thing is the return to form is being 3-15. So I think it's still a very close match. I still thought that Envy was actually going to win against GCU. Obviously, that didn't happen here. I still think Envy is favored, but by watching them play today, it's clearly pretty close, and I think that one's super tight.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us tonight. So from all of us here, on behalf of myself, the Casters' entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for more league action. Good night.